All right, so we got week 5 coming up. We got the best of the best going over there to London. So that game coming on at 9:30 Sunday. Just a scheduling warning. That game coming on at 9:30 in the morning on Sunday. We got the New York Jets and the Falcons. The big game we got on NBC. We got a rematch of the AFC Championship, the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that said, Jay, what else you looking forward to with the Sunday and Monday action?
Hey, folks. Yeah, I know we got an early London startup, but I wouldn't. I'm not gonna hold nobody. I ain't gonna hold it against nobody if y'all sleep in on that one. You had a long Saturday night. You stayed up. God forbid you stayed up and watched some late Pac-12 action. Y'all go ahead. Hey, hit the snooze button for a little bit. I don't think. I think you'll survive that one. But outside of that, I think I'm looking at Denver and Pittsburgh. That's one that I'll have an eye on. I'm seeing two teams on opposite ends of the spectrum right now. I see Denver as a team on the ascent. They weren't very good against Baltimore last week, particularly offensively. We know Teddy Bridgewater knocked out the game with the concussion. He is going to start if he clears that concussion protocol, which I think would be in their benefit if he can do that, because Drew Lock was not very good at all in relief. And then, but then on the flip side, Pittsburgh, it looks like they're on the decline right now. But Denver's only favored by 1 point in this game. It is at Heinz Field. So does Pittsburgh, and I know it's getting late out here because it's 1-3, but it already feels like Pittsburgh getting too far behind. I think this is the game. If Pittsburgh's going to make a stand and start to right the ship, so to speak, it's got to be this one. I do think Denver, though, is going to get it done if Teddy Bridgewater plays. If Drew Lock is coming out there, I think it gets a little bit more dicey, just with the way he doesn't take care of the football. Miami and Tampa, I think that stands out a little to me. I think Tampa's got some injury concerns right now. This secondary is just a mess. Anytime you're out here, you've called up Richard Sherman from Off the Street Incorporated, fresh off whatever charges that he's dealing with. And then you got, don't get me started on Ross Cockrell, for God's sake. But when you got Carlton Davis and Murphy Bunting and Jamel Dean, the whole cornerback room is off. Antoine Winfield, he ain't playing in this game either. So they got problems all over the place in the secondary. Also, I think Gronk's going to miss another game. So Tampa Bay, I think this is still a game they should win because I believe Jacoby Brissett is still in line to start another game for Tua, and Tampa Bay is a 10-point favorite in this game. So I think Tampa will win the game, but they are vulnerable at certain positional groups, particularly in the secondary. So there could be a lot of points scored in that one. And I think a couple more stand out. I'll just stick with the Saints and the old football team, and I'm particularly interested in the Saints portion of this. I'd like to know who the Saints are at this point. We've seen week 1 they good, week 2 they're not good, week 3 they good, week 4 not good. Like who are the Saints? Like we got some, like we out here losing to the Giants last week, and I was really hoping to start a weekly subject where we could just pull up the slate and say, okay, time for the "Where Are You, New York" segment, where we say, will New York get their first win this week, and then both teams just somehow get a win thanks to the Titans and the Saints substandard play. But seriously, who are the New Orleans Saints? Like, are they the team that just blitzed the Packers in week 1, or they the team that they can't beat the Giants and they getting lit up by Daniel Jones? So I'd like to know the answer to that question. I'm leaning towards they're the team that has won 2 games. They get Washington. Washington, is still the Taylor Heineke show. He's been decent, but I think the Saints defense is good enough. Listen, if they can lay the wood to Aaron Rodgers, and maybe he wasn't like all there in week 1, but they should be able to get it done. As always, Jameis Winston turnovers. They got to get Alvin Kamara right now. I mean, he's just shy of 300 yards rushing so far, not averaging 4 yards a carry. They got to get this guy going. Outside of that, there's a lot of great other matchups, but I think you're looks like you're going to take those for us. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. All right. So then, we're gonna start in this 1 o'clock window. I'm looking at the Green Bay Packers versus Cincinnati Bengals, folks, and right here you heard it first. I'm calling the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. Here's the deal. Green Bay defense It seems like they're gonna go into this matchup without their number one corner Yair Alexander. So you're gonna be down your number one corner. The cat you got on the other side, Sidney King. Shall I say more? We seen what he can do when the lights get the brightest. Give up a whole lot of plays.
Yeah.
And then you got the backup coming in behind Yair. And listen, Joe Burrow, he's starting to get. He's getting his rhythm, and he got some guys to throw it to. T. Higgins coming back off injury this Sunday, and you know what Jamar Chase doing. You know what Tyler Boyd is doing. No Joe Mixon, but listen. I think they got enough. Where I'm feeling very confident about Cincinnati. I think Green Bay is gonna have a hard time stopping them. And then I think on the other side, the Bengals defense ain't like they don't wow you, but their defensive line does cause a lot of problems. And then if it's a position group that can get Aaron Rodgers rattled, it's when he see them big boys up front pushing his boys somewhat backwards.
Right.
That gets him rattled. And then on top of that, when he gets rattled, he has to ask himself, hey, where you at, Devontae? Yeah, hey, where you at, baby? Oh, and it's a sack. So I say that to say he's not much confident in these other guys. So if you get him to rolling, get him to thinking, I think the Bengals can have a lot of success there. So I'm taking the Bengals for the upset. And then the next game I want to talk about, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Carolina Panthers. Here's the deal. We seen what the Panthers did over the week. They replaced J.C. Horn with Stephon Gilmore. There we go. I couldn't get his name out. Stephon Gilmore, and on top of that, they had already signed the free agent C.J. Henderson. So they listen for what it's worth. The Panthers are making this very clear. They think this season they're playoff contenders, and they're going for it. I like what they're going for it. They lost their first round pick. They say, hey, who out there? Who the best we can get up out there? Oh, C.J. Henderson. Oh, cool. All right, now we got a guy. Oh, what? Stephon Gilmore. Oh, you want a 6th rounder? Sign me up. Go ahead and go get him. They go get him. They bring Stephon Gilmore, which I think is a steal. Evidently, though, with that trade, something tells me Carolina must agree that they can extend him to a long-term contract sometime in the near future. So we'll see how that goes. I know the NFL players don't have much say-so in what they do as, the NBA per se, but just the way this went down tells me I wouldn't be surprised if you see some type of extension of some sort for Gilmore. So with that said, though, all that great goodness, I'm going with the Eagles. Here's the deal. The Eagles, I thought, played Kansas City very, very well this last week. It was, I don't know, man. The referee in that game kind of had me a little shook. It seemed like every time the Eagles scored a touchdown, I mean, I'm not saying like they're the most disciplined team or anything, but it was like touchdown, first down, touchdown. I was like, man, the Eagles can't catch a break. They can't catch. They literally. What is going on here? If Jalen Hurts would have got the credit that he deserved, the man would have threw for like 5 touchdowns. Like, they was going off, but I don't know what was going on with the referee now. So, and Philadelphia was at home. Like, what? Come on, what? I thought we were supposed to get the home cooking, baby. But I guess not. So with that said, I thought Philadelphia showed me enough in that game. Sam Darnold, he missing his boy CMC in the back. And I think you could put more pressure on him because he looking for DJ Moore most of the time. He got the speech to Robert Anderson, but I'm gonna be real. Listen, that bag up, he ain't getting it done. They need Christian McCaffrey back like yesterday. He's cool, but he's just not enough. He's not, or should I say, he's not up to standard enough that where Sam Darnold could continue doing what he was doing when he had Christian McCaffrey. I say that. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Eagles in that one in the upset. And then I'm down in the 4:00 window. I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Here's the deal: we know what Justin Herbert been doing. He's been bringing in the goods since he's been in the league. I love to see it. However, I think this Sunday he's gonna be running for his life because as good as that offensive line is, you telling me you're gonna put this rookie against Myles Garrett? I'm taking Myles Garrett. And then you talk about the other side of the line. Listen, Cleveland been kind of sleepwalking a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, the defense hasn't really played to what I thought I was gonna see. However, I think this is gonna be one of the most intimidating defenses that Justin Herbert is gonna deal with. And I think they have the athletes to make the likes of Mike Williams work for what he's gonna get, Keenan Allen work for what he's gonna get, and Austin Eckler will be probably their best weapon in this game. But I got a feeling Cleveland might have something for that. So with that said, Justin Herbert is gonna have to earn it. If the Chargers win this game, Justin Herbert is gonna really have to. He's gonna put the team out there on his back. I think that Cleveland defense is built to give the Chargers a very hard time. I'm taking Cleveland in this one. But I'm gonna say this. Also, Cleveland's offense. I think Baker Mayfield might have the game that we waiting on him to have. He hasn't really had that game this season where you just like, man, he's been efficient, but he hasn't been eye-popping. He hasn't been box office. I think this game, even though the Chargers got a very good pass rush. Bosa, these boys out here playing very good. However, I also think Cleveland got an offensive line that can stone them a little bit. So I'm gonna take Cleveland in this one. I think Cleveland gonna have Justin Herbert running for his life in this one. And then the main event, the big game, as I call it, Sunday night, NBC, Chris Collinsworth, Al Michaels, you know what it is. Sunday Night Football. All right, so we got the Chiefs 2.5-point favorites, even though they haven't brought defense since the preseason. And then going against the Bills, like I said, it's a rematch of the AFC Championship game. Yes, folks, I'm calling the Bills in this one. I think, listen, Josh Allen, as long as he had that confidence and know who he is and what their team is, I think they have a very good chance of keeping up with the Chiefs and beating the Chiefs. They have to come into the stadium with that confidence because the game is in Arrowhead. So they're going to need to come in there with the confidence that they can beat the Chiefs. And if they do that, they will beat the Chiefs. Because I think the Buffalo Bills are a better team than the Chiefs right now. Because, yeah, okay, you want to give me Patrick Mahomes. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. I ain't going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that. If you want to tell me Tyreek Hill is better than Stephon Diggs, okay, cool. But Stephon Diggs is better than anybody else Kansas City got. And I like Travis Kelce. I really do. But, I mean, listen, I don't think the guy, Knox over there, I don't think he's like roadkill. And then the offensive line, we're going to compare the offensive lines? I think that's a win for Buffalo in the offensive line department. Then we go to defense. I know we ain't going to talk about defense. We're talking defense. So we know who got the better overall defense. I mean, even if you take the big money guys out of the situation, we know who got the defense. So, if you want to go ahead, coach, and I give Andy Reid that check in the box over McDermott, but when it's all said and done, I think Buffalo comes in now. They do what they got to do. They beat their chest. They beat Kansas City, and they make a statement they make a claim at the statement of being the number one team in the AFC.